What is up guys, Karma Medic here and welcome back to another dose. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Nasser and I'm now a 4th year medical student studying at King's College London. So why do I have all of these different tools and utensils in order to make coffee? Why do I invest so much money and time into making different types of coffee? And honestly, that's just because coffee is the best. Let me walk you guys through a full day of what coffee drinking looks like for me, starting from the morning, then the mid-morning, the afternoon, the evening, and then nighttime. So first things first, when I wake up in the morning, I need a coffee. And because it's still early in the morning, I'm usually pretty tired, I'm like groggy. I don't want something that's gonna be really harsh and just like jolt me awake. I want to sort of ease into my day with a nice smooth cup of coffee. And that's what this guy over here is for. This is the Nescafe Dolce Gusto capsule coffee maker. My sister and I keep our coffee capsules over here. Right now we're drinking a lot of cappuccino coffees. There's all kinds of different capsules that you can buy for different types of coffee. Like up here somewhere, I think, yeah, we've got some Americano capsules as well. And you can get decaf coffees, flat whites, and everything else in between. But me and my sister, we found that these cappuccino capsules are the perfect fit for the morning coffee. All right, so I'm gonna get to work and make 2 cups of coffee and I will be with you in a sec. Alright, there we go. Now you guys won't know this about me because I've never talked about it on the channel, but I have a very serious aversion to foam. You know how people hate the sound of like nails on a chalkboard or the sound of 2 pieces of cutlery grinding together? That's exactly how I feel about the texture of foam in my mouth. And that's why every morning when I make this cappuccino, I use a little spoon to scoop off the foam from the top and get rid of it in the sink. Oh, God. Coffee delivery. Alright guys, so that's the cappuccino all done with. The next coffee that I want to talk about is French press coffee. Now this method of making coffee is an absolute game changer when it comes to making coffee for longer periods of time. As you can see here, this holds about 1 liter of water, which equates to something like 2.5 to 3 cups of coffee. So I can make this before I start studying in the morning and I can drink it continuously until the afternoon when it's lunchtime. The beautiful thing about this as well is that it takes very little effort to make. All you need is some boiled water and ground coffee, and it can make multiple cups of coffee at the same time. Now having ground coffee is great. This is one of my favorites over here. As you can see, it's almost finished, probably because I drink it every single day. But what's even better than buying ground coffee is actually grinding that coffee yourself. Now don't get me wrong, when I smell this, it smells really good, but there really is nothing like smelling freshly ground coffee. That's when the coffee is the freshest, that's when it tastes the best, and yeah, it's the best way to make coffee if you can. So I've got 2 sets of coffee beans at the moment. This one is a lot darker, it's a lot heavier and stronger, and since I'm gonna be having a ton of coffee today, I'm gonna go with this one. Alright, so after you've let the water absorb all of that coffee, you can press the French press down and your coffee is ready. Now about 90-95% of the time I like to have my coffee black, so that's what I'm going to pour for myself, but I'm going to call Norin to pour her coffee how she wants.
I like it.
You like it? Wait, would you still prefer it with milk?
Let me try it with some milk. This is way more coffee than I normally drink in one day.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of coffee today.
I'm going to be buzzing. Alright.
Afternoon coffee is really important because it needs to be strong enough to wake me up from that slumber that I'm in post lunch, and it also needs to be strong enough to last me throughout the next 4-hour period until 7 p.m. And that, my friends, is where Arabic coffee comes in. It is the strongest, it is the densest, it is the meanest of all of the coffees. Now because I'm Jordanian and I'm making Arabic coffee, I have got that good coffee straight from Jordan. Now this stuff over here, this is the good stuff. Every time I make my Arabic coffee, I kind of like freestyle it and I do things a little bit differently than the time before. So I'm gonna call my mom to make sure I get the recipe right for this video. Good doing. حبيبتي هاي ذكريني كيف عامل قهوة عربي. قديش بدي قهوة، قديش بدي مي، سكر، وكم من مرة أغليها.
كل فنجان قهوة بتحط له معلقة قهوة، فنجان يعني بتحط له معلقة قهوة وسكر بطرف المعلقة. اوكي. حسب الذوق يعني.
ومي كم من غلوة؟ 3 صح؟
لا 2 بزيادة.
2 بزيادة.
بس خليها فوق تحت فوق تحت.
اوكي.
خلاص بتصبها.
طيب اوكي.
وبعدين بس تشرب الفنجان بتقلبه وبتجيب لي اياه اقرا.
طيب اوكي. ببعث لك صورة.
هذا هو. اوكي يا روحي باي.
Thank you. Bye bye. 1, 2. So before you actually add the coffee or the sugar, you need the water to heat up a little bit, because otherwise the coffee's not going to dissolve as easily. So we're going to do that now. So yeah, depending on how sweet you want it, you can either add more or less sugar, but I don't like it too sweet, if I'm honest. I prefer my coffee to be tasting like coffee, like black coffee. But without sugar, I find this coffee impossible to drink. It's so heavy and dense. You'll see. I'm going to add the 2 coffees now. There's 2. Oh. So there's 1 boil, then you take it off and you let it go back down and rest, then you put it down again, and you let it boil once more, and that's it. That's the Arabic coffee done. Alright, now I am by no means an Arabic coffee expert, but that's how I make it, and that's how I like it. Alright, now moving along swiftly to our next type of coffee, we've got the mocha pot. Now this has very quickly become probably my favorite method of making coffee, and that's simply because of how good it tastes. The coffee that comes out of this mocha pot is very smooth, it's not acidic at all, and it's just a great black coffee that doesn't taste jarring or bitter or strong. The only thing I don't like about the mocha pot is that it's a bit of a hassle to use. You kind of have to unscrew it, and then you have to fill this bottom portion with water, then you place this on top, you fill the coffee in here, then you screw it back on, and then you have to boil it for a specific amount of minutes, so you kind of have to set a timer to come back and turn it off. You can't just leave it unattended like this after you've poured your boiling water into it. So it's a little bit of a chore to make, but I think it makes a superior tasting coffee. So after you add the water, you put the ground coffee into this little basket thing here. Alright, and there we go. So I've set a 6-minute timer, and I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Coffee's done boiling. We also have special mugs for this mocha pot coffee. Wish me luck pouring this on camera and not making a mess. Perfect. Yeah. Is it windy?
Wind. Looks like I don't like it stronger.
It's stronger, but is easier to drink, I think. It like tastes smoother for me. Alright, we've got 1 more caffeine infused drink to make. Alright guys, and that brings us to our final method of ingesting caffeine, which is this like teapot. I think it's called a teapot. Basically, every now and again, Noor and I will get sick of drinking coffee, probably because we drink so much, and so we need to switch to tea for a little while. But the normal teas that you get at the supermarket, this is my favorite one. It tastes really good and it's nice to have at night, but it definitely doesn't have as high of a caffeine content as I would like, as I would need when I'm doing long days of studying. And so for that purpose, I have this. Now this tea is the good of tea. It's like, it's still a strong red tea, but it's not as intense as coffee. It's nowhere near as strong as coffee, but it still gives you that feeling of drinking something nice and warm that has caffeine in it. The nice thing about this teapot is that you can put it on this grill grate thing here that has 2 candles, and you can light the candles, which means it stays warm over very long periods of time. So this is a really great solution if you want to have something to drink throughout the day. For example, if you're doing a really long study session. All right. Got it. The teapot has had time to brew. It's that nice, lovely red-brown color, and it is ready for the Karma Twins taste test. Tea time. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. That is definitely the most caffeine that I've consumed in like a 2-hour period. I've made an absolute mess of my kitchen. We've got the coffee beans, coffee grinder, my unfinished tea that I just made, Turkish tea, mocha pot, teapot, beans, filtered coffee, Arabic coffee, these empty mugs of coffee here, cheeky little tripod sitting on the window, French press, camera tripod, and spare batteries. My big tripod sitting very precariously above the sink, and then there's a bunch of empty coffee mugs from the video, and then lastly my other tripod sitting over here. So alright guys, I'm gonna start cleaning this up. There's definitely quite a bit of work to do here in the kitchen, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's very different than the usual videos that I upload here on the channel, but I've had a lot of fun doing it and I hope you have had fun watching it as well. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like on it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more content from me in the future. And that is it. I will see you guys in the next time. Peace. So good, so good. Wow, I genuinely feel like an Energizer bunny right now. Just looking around, I feel like I'm in a heightened state of awareness. Had a bit too much coffee for sure.